We're here to talk about your first year of nursing. I know that it's really going to be hard, and we're here to help you out.
We got you.
We got you.
You don't have to be afraid. It's not scary. It's very scary.
It's very scary. If we're being honest, it's very, very scary. So set for me what your first day of nursing was like.
So you little nurses, you're so cute. You're in your new little scrubs. You got your stethoscope in your favorite color that you bought on Amazon.
You're gonna lose it immediately.
You show up. You pass the NCLEX, right? Like, you've got this. You're fine.
You're fine.
The NCLEX was the scariest thing you've ever done in your whole life.
In your entire life.
So you show up. It's your first day. What do? Did nursing school prepare you for your first day?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I felt like I walked into like the Twilight Zone. Like all of a sudden all my pens were gone. Like I had given them out. No one returned them. My stethoscope was lost within...
Mine didn't even work. I was like, I hear nothing.
I don't know breath sounds at all. What's even a heart sound?
Is this what that sounds like?
Is this what an atrium sounds like? I don't know. I'm just out of nursing school. It's my first day. And so it's super scary. I remember my first day, my first month, my nurse manager walked onto the floor, and she took a look at my face, and she was like, "Are you okay?" And
were you?
And no, I was exhausted. I was so tired. I didn't know like in from out. Like I was just trying to absorb so much information, and I really wish that nursing school would have prepared me better for my first year of nursing.
I wish that I had had somebody to guide me through that first year a little bit more than I was. So I had a preceptor, we had an orientation. I do feel like the system was really good where it paired me up and I could learn with another nurse. And I think that's how most units do it. Mm-hmm. But I do wish I had had somebody like I have now, where when something happens that is sad, traumatic, weird, hard, just something I've never experienced, that I had a way to decompress and to debrief about it. And I feel like I have that now, but I did not have that when I was a brand new nurse.
Right. I feel like if I would have known that the people that I was orienting with and that the people that I was working with had been through the same thing, I think I would have felt more comfortable in going to them and being like, this is really hard. Is this hard for everybody else? Are you having?
This is supposed to be hard, right?
I feel like it's supposed to be hard, but I don't really know. So I feel like as like more seasoned nurses, I feel like it's our job really to like take those little newbies right under our little wing, and really help them out with that.
I agree wholeheartedly. I think that will help you through your first year. I think that having that resource really is just comforting, and it just gives you a little bit to hold on to so that you're not just like, well, this is terrible.
I'm done. My first year of nursing, I had like a backup job. Did you have a backup job? Like a job that I was going to go to.
I still have a backup job.
If this doesn't pan out,
like
I'm going to go.
Backup job.
Yes, I was ready to go work at Anthropology. I was like, yes, I'm going to go do arts and crafts all day long. I'm going to sell overly priced clothing to women who will buy them. Yeah. And I'm going to do amazing at it.
Yeah, I remember having the worst shift of my nursing career. I left in tears, and I was like, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go be the lady that keeps the kids out from stepping on the butterflies at the zoo. Like, closes the doors, makes sure all the kids, there's no butterflies on clothes, puts fruit out.
Oh, what a magical job.
I know. That's my back. It's still
a really good
my backup job.
I don't know I don't know if my backup job has changed over the years. But I feel like I had one, and you might, new nurses might too. You know, like it's just part of a plan B, and which is important. But I feel like just to know, like, you're going to make mistakes, right? And it's okay. Yep. Like you don't have to be the perfect nurse right out of nursing school, and actually, that's not a thing.
Yeah, I mean, you guys can tell us, what are your biggest fears going into your first year of nursing school? What is the scariest part of it? Tell us what you want us to address. But I feel like you walk in as a new nurse and you expect to know everything. You feel like you're supposed to know everything, not make a mistake, and just like kick ass right off the bat. And that's insane. That's not going to happen.
That's not real.
So what are the ways that we can help our new nurses get over that part of it?
I think by giving them a safe space to kind of talk about what's going on. I feel like harboring a culture that's not like nurses eat their young, you know, kind of squashing that and being there for those new nurses that don't know anything yet.
Yeah.
And it's okay.
We know you don't know anything.
Because I didn't know anything.
I didn't know anything.
Nothing.
I didn't know anything for like 6 months to a year.
I was completely out of my gourd. I didn't know. I was completely out of my depth. I didn't know anything. And I feel like I was lucky in that I was raised in a culture that promoted asking questions and going to seasoned nurses. And I really hope that for new nurses.
Yeah.
It really makes me sad and I don't know if anyone out there has had this experience where you get through your first year of nursing and you hate it.
Yeah.
You know, you worked so hard. You worked so hard to get through nursing school. You paid all of your dues. And that first year of nursing, you're burned out already and you're done.
Well, and that could be just that you picked a field of nursing that's maybe not what you thought it would be.
Exactly.
I know we get a lot of new nurses on labor and delivery that think it's going to be sweet and babies and whatever. But
Thank you.
and then they get on and it's like an ICU ED with pregnant women.
Right.
And it's just not what they thought it would be. And it's honestly better to, rather than try and stick it out with something that's not going to work, to bail.
Yeah.
There's no shame in bailing and finding your niche, because you're going to have to do this for a very long time.
Right. You signed up for a career.
And I think it's better to get good at one thing, and finding that thing you're good at and that you have a passion for early on is going to benefit you in the long run.
Well, it's going to benefit you and it's going to benefit your patients.
Absolutely.
Well. You're going to be a better nurse for it.
Yep. What advice would you give to someone who is struggling with anxiety about the new job or about going to work?
So I think that at least where I work, I know that they have a service for this where you can go and you can seek help. You can talk to a therapist, you can talk to a professional, and that can help get your bearings underneath you again. But if the anxiety is coming from the job itself, there are so many places that you can work as a nurse that you don't have to pigeonhole yourself into the place that you thought you were going to be in nursing school. I work as a labor and delivery nurse now, but when I was in nursing school, absolutely not.
I didn't want to do it either.
I thought it was gross, and I didn't want to have anything to do with it. And in fact, I wanted to do cardiac ICU, and I thought it was just the coolest thing ever. And then I needed a job, so I worked L&D, and turns out I love it.
So you picked L&D, you love it. The first year was still very hard.
Absolutely.
So how did you get through that first 6 months to a year doing what you know you loved, but it was still really difficult?
But it was still really hard. Booze, I think.
Yeah? Let's talk coping mechanisms.
I think my coping mechanisms were making friends with other nurses. I think for the first 6 months of nursing, I didn't hang out with anybody from the unit. I didn't have a lot of friends who did what I did. And so my non-nursing friends didn't get it. They didn't understand what it was like. They didn't. So I have nursing friends now. I have girls and men and women that I can go to when things are really tough.
Yeah.
And I know that they understand what's going on. And they understand that like mistakes happen because we're humans and that's okay.
I think that's a huge point. You will make a mistake your first year, your first day, your first week. And it's fine. I think if you're trying your best, if you're asking the right questions, the system process is helpful, but you're probably not going to kill anybody if you're doing all the right things.
If you're scanning what you should be scanning.
Yeah. And you're going to make a mistake, and then just recognizing that you are human.
And it's okay.
It's okay. Nobody died.
Learn from it.
Hopefully.
So
I remember an instance where I made a mistake, and it was debilitating. I had so much guilt. I cried. I had anxiety going back to work. And there really is something to talk therapy with people that know what you're going through. So
Yeah.
other nurses, other friends, talking through it, finding where you went wrong, finding what you can do better, and just acknowledging that, yes, that was really hard. That was really terrible. I'm not going to quit my job over it. I'm just going to never do that again, ever.
I will never not put a pull of socks on her finger.
Never.
Ever again. And yeah, I mean, and that's all you can do. It's either you learn from your mistake or you quit. And I hope that you don't, I feel like I worked really hard to be the nurse that I am and the nurse that I was even out of 6 months. And I feel like if I hadn't have just, had those people to go through with it, go with it through.
What?
Go through that experience with. I don't know if I would have made it through that first year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also booze.
Well, also booze. Also that. Boo.
We
booze.
had a patient who died.
Erica and I.
Super bummer. Nothing could have been done. Nothing could be helped. But it was traumatic.
But we did our best. And it didn't. We set out to save lives and make a difference. And we didn't.
We didn't that time. So we went to the bar. We round of shots. Keep them coming. Another one. And we
were asked to leave.
I thought we were just leaving.
I thought it was just time to go home.
Time to leave.
But turns out we were asked to leave, and we have been best friends ever since.
It was one of our more bonding experiences for sure. And one of my favorite stories, which came from a really terrible event, but it was helped a lot just by friendships, by coming together, by getting through the war together,
Right. Swapping war stories.
Blood and guts.
Blood and guts. You guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We have acknowledged that the first year is hard. We did it. We know. First day, top 3 tips for getting through it.
For getting through your first day?
For your very first day.
As a new nurse? I would say, because this is assuming you're going to have an orientee who you're going to be with.
Right.
So I would say ask questions.
Okay.
Don't assume that you know anything because she's not assuming that you know anything. So you are fine to ask questions.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. Even if you think you know, just verify.
Just check.
Just a quick little this is right?
Right.
Perfect.
Okay, perfect.
So I'd say that. I would say figure out where things are early on. Because
bathroom.
Yes.
Supply closet.
Absolutely. Medroom.
Medroom.
Where's your computer? Where do you sit?
Where's my locker?
Yeah. How just the general layout of the unit.
Right.
That seems obvious, but I have had people on week 3 who still don't know where towels are.
Yeah. Where do I get warm blankets?
And it just makes you look like you don't even know where towels are.
Didn't even try.
And then just don't be too afraid. Make some friends. Say hi.
Don't be rude.
Don't go in with your britches up and be like, I know everything.
Because you got to charm the pants off of. Not only do you have to make friends, but you've got to make all those nurses trust you.
Yeah. Ooh, I have one more. Don't be weird.
Don't be
in front
weird.
of the patients. Kind of act. At least in front of the patients, act like you know what you're doing, which
Read
is
the room.
a little bit different, right?
Yeah.
You want them to have confidence in you when you're putting in their IV. Act like you've done it 1,000 times, even if it's your first time. Promise.
Because they will pull away from you.
Oh my gosh, they'll go home and be like, this new
nurse tried to put an IV in me.
No, be like, I've done this 100 times. That's weird that I didn't get it.
It's amazing that I didn't
Doesn't
get it.
make
You
any
must have
sense.
terrible veins. You must have moved. You must have moved. This is more about you. This is a you problem. Wow.
That's actually terrible advice.
No, don't do it.
Okay, so that's to get it through your first day. What about just longer term, getting through your first year as a new nurse?
First year. Do not buy an expensive stethoscope.
That's a great one.
Don't do it. You'll lose it. I lost mine. Do not get it engraved. Do not.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Someone's borrowing
it, and they're going to steal it from you. Don't spend a lot of money on your first stethoscope.
Unless you're wildly more responsible than either of us ever were.
Or you're going into cardiology.
That's a great.
Okay. Don't loan out your pens. Your pens are your pens,
That's
and
true.
you don't have to they need to bring their own pen. You're not responsible for whether or not they have a pen. Go find your own pen. This is my pen. No. Learn how to say no.
Learn how to say no.
Don't loan out your pens. And let's see here. First year, get some sleep.
Oh, yeah.
Get some sleep. I just remember being right out of college. I was trying to like live that college lifestyle still, like staying up all night, coping with booze, and
get some sleep.
Get some sleep. Your brain needs to rest and recharge. You need to sleep.
Those bags under your eyes are intense.
They're intense.
Go to
People
sleep.
will ask you what's wrong, and you need to fix it with sleep.
And hydrate.
Hydrate.
Eat a salad.
Eat a salad. Healthy lifestyle. Hashtag self-care.
If you guys have any questions, I know you do. And I know we did not even hit on half your questions. So comment to us. Let us know what you need. We got you. This has been really fun.
This has been really fun.
And just remember that we know, and just come here. Just a little sweet baby nurse. Just get in here.
Tiny little baby child. Just get on. Get on.
You.
We've got you.
You're going to be fine.
It's going to be fine.
I promise.
I'm so excited to have been here, to be able to talk to you about how to get through the worst of it. Get through that first year. You're wildly unprepared, but don't worry.
You're going to get better.
You're going to get better.
You're only going to get better.
You're only a year old.
You're a tiny baby nurse.
Tiny baby child nurse.
And we've got you. We'll help you.
We'll help you out.